Let's set this in motion and start with the 3 planes of motion. Here we go. For the frontal plane. This plane divides us from the anterior and the posterior view. In other words, it cuts us in half from the front and the back. Movement in this plane looks like jumping jacks. We have the transverse plane. With the transverse plane, it cuts you from top to bottom. And movement in this plane looks like this. Might be dancing to your favorite song. Okay, so then we have the sagittal plane. This plane of motion divides us equally from left to right sides. So I think we've made a really great start so far, but let's focus on the cephalic region of the body. Let's focus on the facial. And by that I mean face. The nasal is medial to the octic, and if we move down the cervical, which attaches our cephalic to our trunk, we can say that our ribs are superficial to our heart, or that our stomach is inferior to our sternum. So just like a tree, a trunk has limbs, so our human bodies have upper limbs and lower limbs. Let's take a look at our upper limbs first. So looking at our upper limbs, we can say that the axillary is proximal to the carpal. If we take the directional term pair of proximal, we can take the phalanges and say that they are distal to the antecubital. The lower limb region, let's say that the hallux is anterior to the calcaneal. Or we can say the opposite and say that the popliteal is posterior to the patellar. So we know some regions of the body now, so let's try to get to know the body just a little bit more. The acromial is superior to the femoral. The palmar is lateral to the navel. The small intestine is deep to the skin of the abdominal. And the sacral is intermediate to the left and right coxal. So, hopefully that gives you a good idea on how to use anatomical terminology. But remember kids, always start off in anatomical position.